Hello. We're a little early. Supposed to start at 7 p.m., but it's not like I had much else going on. I am going to try and find the best way to have the chat up at the same time that we are doing this whole thing. Because OBS's chat, I talk about this on almost every live stream. OBS's chat is not great. You can't at people, you can't start polls. I wish they would work on that, but I'm pretty sure you can do a pop out for YouTube chat. Can you not? Pop out chat. There it is right there. Look at that. See? I'm not entirely helpless. Spidey, of course, always here. Diaclona, of course, coming in with the P joke immediately. Have to. Girl's got to get her P joke in. All the War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron characters should have gotten toys. It sucks that they don't utilize the line. Hopefully Gamer Edition will give us some of them eventually. We're only getting 5 toys a year, it seems. Yeah. And today we're primarily going to be looking at... We probably have more time than I'm thinking we have. So we will have time to cover Studio Series, I'm guessing. But at least this first tier list that I put together is just the actual Fall of Cybertron toys. And Occam's Eyes here. Man, blast from the past. Let me check my OBS here. Let me see. Okay. You're going to have to see the stream chat up as well. We're going to give it a little more time. Just for that 7 o'clock mark when this was supposed to start. And actually, while I wait, what are the odds we actually get a good Cybertron Bumble Jumper mold from an eventual Gamer Edition Fall of Cybertron line? You know what, Diaclona? I'm looking over at my Gamer Edition Bumblebee here. When the figure first came out, and it was before it was in anyone's hands, and it was just the solicitation photos, people were really bashing on the mold and saying how horrible it looked. And I thought, no, it looks fine. It looks good. And then I finally got my hands on it about a month ago, and I realized why people were really upset by it. It's just such a finicky... I don't know, it feels unfinished. You know, Optimus and Ratchet feel like figures that were finished. And Bumblebee, I feel like as soon as I pick him up, he's just got parts that are just moving in ways that they shouldn't move. It's really frustrating. So he just kind of, I have him crouched down to look like he's a little bit shorter to try and hide his tummy, his fat tummy. So it is a little disappointing, yeah. Long-time viewer, first-time chatter, getting a repaint of Fall of Cybertron Grimlock, and a lot soon. Extremely hyped. Awesome. Thanks for chatting it up. The black and red repaint. I thought War for Cybertron Barricade was a good mold, but they got his colors wrong. He should be gray and purple, not black and gray. So here's the thing. I told myself when the Gamer Edition line started that I would not be collecting them all. I got Optimus and Megatron, and that's all I wanted. I got Ratchet when he came out, and I enjoyed him enough that I thought, let me get Bumblebee, and then I will at least have the 3 main Autobots from the beginning of the Autobot campaign. I really kind of want Starscream at this point and Skywarp. And if I do that, then I might as well get the others. But Barricade is on the lowest list, especially because I found him in a local toy shop for $40. And from what I've seen, he is not worth $40. It is actively, it has an actively negative hand feel. Honestly, look, he isn't even the worst part. I would agree. Yeah, I don't mind the look. It's, you know, it's not perfect. It's not as round as it should be, but, you know, it's a toy. It's not going to be perfect. Ratchet's not perfect. Optimus is way too wide. I feel like all of the Gamer Edition figures have some type of compromise that's been made, and it doesn't really bug me too much. I do think Megatron is one of the best. I know people hate on that mold just because he has some funny knees, but I think he's fantastic. The Seeker mold is amazing. Yeah, I had the original Starscream mold from Fall of Cybertron. I really kind of want to get the Voyager now. It was everywhere on store shelves, and now it's not, but I'm sure it's not too expensive to pick up, especially with a Thundercracker coming out. If I get Starscream, I'll have to get the other two. Hey, Isomi. The Decepticon soldiers make better use of the mold, in my opinion. The Autobot soldiers are supposed to share the same mold. See, Spidey, I saw some people showing off that they got the Decepticon soldier, I almost said shoulder, the Decepticon shoulder on clearance, and I would be okay with a price like that. I understand it's, you know, it's priced because of how much plastic you're getting, but he just seems a little too drab, paint-wise. My only problem with the Seeker mold is the cockpit. It's just an eyesore for me. The big giant Cheeto cockpit that people call it. Here, you know what? While we wait just a little bit, let me go into OBS. There we go, and we'll just bug around on TF Wiki here for a second. Technically, they're War for Cybertron figures, aren't they? Toys. Yeah, Gamer Edition. Bumblebee, Barricade. Let's take a look at Barricade here. Yeah, so here's the thing. From these photos, I don't mind him at all. I really don't. But from what I've seen, his backpack and his leg kibble is really, really bad. And I guess his feet are really bad too. And he's just a real pain to make do anything at a certain point. Since I'm not super into the figures, I don't see any of the flaws. Sideswipe, yeah. Hopefully we get a Soundwave and a Warpath. I do hope we get a Soundwave as well. Yeah, let's jump over to, well, here, we'll look at Starscream. So yeah, I had, TF Wiki's been doing this, not loading all the photos. I had, oh man, I'm not going to scroll through all of this. Well, there he is right there. I had the original Deluxe Generation Starscream, and I thought it was a really fun figure. I found him on sale at like a Toys R Us before they closed, way after it came out. And a lot of people hated on this guy because of the orange cockpit. And I think the designers even talked about why it had to be this big and this large. It really doesn't bug me at all. I think the figure looks fantastic. Say that again? I have Generations Fall of Cybertron Thundercracker. I got him as a kid on Christmas. It is still my personal opinion. I think the mold is better than the current one. I can see that. I can understand that. My personal big four have always been Prime, Jetfire, Magnus, and B for the Autobots. And Megatron is a Starscream with both waves for the Decepticons, yeah. But no, I like the look of this. I will, at some point, maybe pick it up. Sideswipe is interesting because, hey, Slonk. Sideswipe is interesting because from the people I've spoken to, they either really like him or they really hate him. And I feel like there's not that much of an in-between. His shoulders are interesting, how they're done, kind of at this angle. I know his feet are a big problem for people. I don't mind the backpack. It's whatever. I think the vehicle... This, in my opinion, this guy looks a whole lot better than... it's not loading. Than this guy. Than the Jazz remold. I guess technically he has better... Actually, no, I don't think he has better feet. I've had both the Deluxe and Voyager clears in hand. Barely noticed the Cheeto. Very hyped for Thundercracker. Yeah. Yeah, now that we know Thundercracker's coming, I'm probably going to have to go back and collect them. Yeah, and so here's the funny thing. When I saw this guy, I was even more turned off, mainly just because of the legs. I don't mind Kibble. It's a toy. You know, these aren't third-party figures. These have, budgets that have to be stuck by, but these legs just look really bad to me. And I think the drabness of it. I know he's supposed to be gray and green, and I understand the use of gray plastic, but I was hoping maybe for a little bit more. Ignoring the oversized cockpit, I still think the mold is good. It's just prefer OG. That could be. That Sideswipe is leagues better. Gamer Edition Sideswipe looks fine to me, but is still way better than Generations. Yeah. Ratchet's been a lot of fun. His transformation is super, super fun. There's compromises. I think his hands are a little bit of a compromise. His shoulders, I feel like, should have been moved up a little more. So what I end up doing is actually what they do here in the photo. I keep his shoulders pointed back and his elbows bended forward. Otherwise, he's got really long looking arms. I don't think it's the fact. Well, I guess it is his arms are a little too long, but it's just that they're not placed up higher. So I do think between him and Ironhide, I think Ironhide kind of pulls off the mold a little bit better. Come on, there we go. So I am excited for this kind of partial of him. I do think this one will be just a tad better. Whoops, hit my microphone. I only have War for Cybertron Gamer Edition Prime, so I'm just gonna chill and watch since I don't have that much to add. Yeah, Prime is a fun one, I think. He's not perfectly accurate. He's a little wide, but what I said when I first saw him was I felt like somebody took a PNG photo of Gamer Edition Prime and they scaled it up, but they didn't have consistent scaling on, and so he kind of stretched to the side a little bit. There's an IDW head upgrade for the Ratchet. Oh, really? Interesting. Gotta go to my dog's recital, but happy streaming. All right, good luck, Diclona. Don't tell too many pee jokes. I love Ratchet. Really like his figure. Just wish the painting didn't look like candy. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. The Decepticon and Autobot soldiers had multiple colors in War for Cybertron. They could possibly do a troop builder pack for those. And yeah, I would be fine, kind of like how they've done 3 packs and 4 packs. If they did that with some Autobot and Decepticon soldiers, I think that would work well. Do we have photos of Thundercracker? No, we don't. We know he's coming, but I don't know how you're gonna outdo this. This is pretty immaculate. I don't care even if he's got the gorilla arms. It's just the way it was back then. All right, let me look at stream here. Let's go ahead and jump into what we actually came here for. Actually, I kind of want to look at Cliff Jumper here real quick. This Cliff Jumper. Yeah, I don't know if this guy really... Here's the thing with my Bumblebee. I tried transforming him. I could never figure... I mean, I knew how to do it, but it just never... Even these photos here, you can see all these gaps. It just doesn't... I feel like it doesn't fold together well at all. Wonder how they're going to pull off Shockwave. That was the Thundercracker I owned. You can see how I have a bias towards it. Absolutely, Spidey. That Thundercracker is fantastic. Look at Megatron here. Ah, yes. Studio Series Megatron. Here he is, everybody. Look how great that is. Have him on my shelf. This is a 10 out of 10 figure, guys. He may not be able to transform, but it is the most accurate that you can get. This is the legacy Transformers Prime figures that we deserved. I know people would have taken this over the bulkhead that we got and the RC that we got. Does Gamer Edition Bumblebee feel like Universe Ironhide? Yes, absolutely. Very panely. I think one of my biggest issues with the Gamer Edition Bumblebee is also the fact that he has ankle pivots, but they go the wrong way. So his ankles don't pivot inwards, they pivot outwards. And it's just... It made me think that I had the feet on incorrectly. But nope, they're just... they're just built that way. And I don't like that at all. So, all right, enough of the pee and poo jokes. We get it. Diaclone is not here. We don't have to keep that up. She's not checking in on us anymore. Like a lot of Gamer Edition figures, leaves a lot to be desired, but when you put them together as a collection, I don't mind the flaws. Yeah, I would agree, Slonk. I would agree. And again, I feel like everybody really hated on this figure, this Megatron, when he came out. Primarily because of the knees. They said the knees are the worst thing. You technically have to untap them in the back to have them. This is probably my favorite Gamer Edition figure that I've gotten. The cannon is a little small, but you can see why they had to do it that way. It would fit for tank mode. But I think this is probably one. Let me look at my. Of the ones I have, I do think that this is my favorite one. Old Bumblebee felt as bad in the transformation. Yeah, and a lot of people have said that the older Bumblebee figure was way better, but he's just so big. He's just such a large figure. Let's see if I can. Oh, is this Studio Series? No, this is Bumblebee War for Cybertron toys. Which means it's going to be Prime, Rescue Bots, and all that stuff. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it here in TF Wikis. What is a Gamer Edition figure that hasn't been confirmed to be made that you guys want? For me, personally, Dirge and Ramjet for War for Cybertron DS. Slonk wants Grimlock. They've got to do Grimlock. I wonder how far they're really going to go with the War for Cybertron characters, if they're going to do all of them or just kind of the main cast. Obviously, we've been getting remolds. I don't know if I can find this figure in all of this. Oh, it's literally at the top. Literally the first figure. Oh, my goodness. But War for Cybertron-wise, I'm trying to think who they haven't done yet. Probably Soundwave. Yeah, this B looks a little more accurate, not his arms. But I think the sacrifice is he's so big and you have this huge shell on his back for him to fit inside of this. But I do think the vehicle mode looks a lot better. And then he was re-released, wasn't he? Yeah. In this, like, trans tech color scheme or something. It wasn't too big for the day. Yeah, back in the day when figures were actually larger. War for Cybertron DS Grimlock Slonk. Yeah. There's Seraph. They also made a cliff jumper of this, I'm pretty sure. Aren't they going to do a breakdown and Soundwave? I hope they do a breakdown. Yeah, there's Cliff Jumper. But he had the interesting head at the time. Yeah. I do hope they get to Dead End. Well, actually, no. Now, actually thinking back on what I want, Onslaught. Onslaught is what I want. But I doubt that is going to come anytime soon because we're getting Age of the Primes, Onslaught, and Combaticon. So I doubt they would double up on those characters so soon. Delta Streaming Streak? I know, Seraph. Concept Art Springer and Prowl are the other Pipe Dream picks. Absolutely. Do you think they'll make Studio Series toys for Prime? The original toys were actually pretty good and accurate for the show. I'm pissed we never got Deluxe Class, Blue, and Yellow Smokescreen. I don't know if they're going to dip into that. I think, they already tried to do Legacy, and they dropped the ball there. And so I can't imagine they would do Studio Series for that. Now here's the hard thing. The Generations Skywarp looks like the perfect shade of black and purple. And at least from the solicitation photos, this does not look like the right purple. I would have to go and check actual reviews to see if this is what it actually looks like. And it looks like there's a difference between the shoulders and these pylon pieces here. I do as well hope, Irish, that we get better Prime figures. I know you can get re-releases of the third-party re-releases of the first edition figures by APC Toys. I just haven't brought myself to purchase any of those yet. Yeah, Shozy store here has some of them. This is definitely the place to get. APC is the place to get, you know, accurate, well-made figures from this design. So they, to my knowledge, they take the first edition molds and kind of spruce them up and make some changes to them. Obviously not first edition Megatron. This is just Voyager Megatron that they've used. I think somebody else could probably speak a lot better on that. I mean, look, they've even made this version of Megatron for Rampage. If we do get Gamer Edition Dead End, I hope his weapon is a pipe. It's like his signature weapon now. Yes. Gamer Warpath must come out and be the best figure ever. We're obviously still in the War for Cybertron phase of getting these Gamer Edition figures. Even here it says featuring characters from War for Cybertron in the first wave. Given the scale, screen accuracy focus on Studio Series, there are now Voyager class figures in addition to Deluxe class. So obviously we're not in Fall of Cybertron yet. There was talk that that Studio Series 86 was going to be ending. Does anybody know if that's true? I would like to know if that is true or not. Studio Series Q wheeljack. Ugh. Interesting design. Very interesting elbows, too. He's almost got Wolverine claws. Strange for sure. Make sure that this is up to date. In-hand images. I don't think there's a lot more they can do in 86. Yeah, Megatron, Shockwave, Soundwave, and I agree. I think they've kind of... I mean, they could release Hot Rod. Please, Hasbro. Please just re-release him. That's all I'm asking. Please. That's a good photo. Talks of toy production scaling back, but the lines are not ending. Yeah, yep. I remember them talking about scaling back the toy production to focus more on other things like video games, of course. I hope to get the new Heatwave. Warpath, I was talking about this yesterday. I really want the new Heatwave, but the Chase figure that was out not too long ago is already like $40 on eBay. It's way too much, and so I fear that I've just missed the opportunity to collect the Rescue Bots. So the reason the Transformers didn't get more screen time than they should have was because it would have been hell for them, for the CGI team. That's why the humans were the main focus of the films. All right, let's actually get into this tier list maker. This is literally just the first tier list maker that I found on the internet. So I'm sure there's a better one out there. But what we're going to do here is we're just primarily going to focus, and let me turn down this jazz music a little. We're primarily going to focus on the Fall of Cybertron figures that came out during the game. I know there's multiple repaints. I know there's Takara repaints. As you can see, the Bruticus Combiner team, the kind of premium edition where their colors were accurate to the game, are not in here. I really just want to try and keep this simple and talk about the easy to find Hasbro releases at the time, and not go too far into, well, there was a recolor and the only thing that was different was they painted his feet brown or something like that. I don't want to get caught up in all of that. I had no idea Chase was so much back in January. We got him for like $12 and kind of dislike him, to be honest. The transformation makes me want to cry. If 86 does end, might be the re-releases of 86 Hot Rod Perceptor and most likely 86 Optimus. Yeah. So these have been classified in their toy class. These guys down here are technically Legends class figures, I think, but these are the data discs that you could get, which I actually had a few of them, so they're fun. So starting off is the Ravage and Rumble, if you subscribe to Rumble being blue, of course. These figures, I found them to be kind of fun. They're obviously not super posable, but I liked the concept of them being able to transform. The Ravage, and this is the reason why I have TF Wiki up, because those are pretty small. Actually, let me do Fall of Cybertron. These are pretty small. Cybertron, not Cybertron. That's what I get for having my... Guys, I can't spell. That's what I get for having my keyboard in front of my microphone where I can't see anything. B tier already. I'm already with you on that. But let's look up right here. Yeah, Legends class. Let's look up the Ravage and Decepticon Rumble. Okay. All right. So again, this is what I'm talking about. We're not going to be doing the Generations Japan sets. We're just going to be kind of looking at them as figures. So the idea of them turning into discs, I think is fun. I like the spring activated gimmick to them. I had Laserbeak and I messed around with him all the time. But this, I really commend them for what they were doing here and what they were able to do. But no, this is just it. It's a really cool idea, but this just does not work. And because he comes in a package with Rumble, we need to take a look at Rumble as well. That way we can put him in the correct tier. Yeah, it's fine, but it just doesn't look like Rumble. You know, where are his pylons? I would agree that I think this is kind of a B tier. This is just... What do we guys think? Is this a B tier? Ravage and Rumble. Who's even next? Who do I have next here? Actually, we'll do the rest of the Decepticons here. Might as well do them together. Oh, that's because they were in the same wave. Yeah. Decepticon Frenzy. Look at this. Frenzy being blue. Absolutely not. Red Frenzy. There's not much more I can say. Same thing with Rumble. That being said, Rat-Bat, I think, is a better mold. He's obviously a repaint and slight retool of Laserbeak. I think this makes this set a little bit better because this figure is just a little more fun. He doesn't have feet. If he had feet to perch on Soundwave, I think that would have been a lot better. But this, I think, causes it to be a little bit higher. I don't know about A tier or not. Maybe just higher up on the B tier. Or if something's higher on the B tier, is it further to the right or further to the left? I think it's further to the left because it's closer to the B tier. The red makes Frenzy more interesting. I would agree. I would agree. Yeah, Rat-Bat ain't so bad. And guys, tell me which one is it? I don't do these tier lists often. Which side is higher, the left or the right? Because I want it to be made known that this is better than the Ravage set. Left? Okay, because it's closer to the B. All right. Perfect. All right, the next one was Eject and Ram Horn. Eject, again, there's not much I can say. I do like this shade of blue a lot better. It's brighter. It's got the gold. It actually looks like Eject. And he came with Ram Horn, which I never got this, and I wish I did. I think Ram Horn is probably one of the best data discs. In my mind. In my mind, this guy works. He's just a chunky rhino. In the games, did the cassettes actually transform into discs? I don't think they did. I think technically they were still kind of square-shaped. I think the Ram Horn set is even a little bit better than the Rat-Bat one. Just because this Rhino mode is at least in my opinion, is really clever. Rewind. Okay, so this is really tough. I have a soft spot in my heart for Rewind, and I think the colors on Rewind work really well here. I love the red on the black disc. It does look like he's got a gold bra on. I never noticed that. A gold bra and a gold thong. Definitely an interesting choice of paint. Ram horn is A+. Ooh. Captain Toasty over here. He might have to go up into A. They were a poor man's Bakugan. That's so funny. And he came with Sunder. Okay, so, you know, Sunder, again, is just Laserbeak, but Autobot Laserbeak. I know this isn't super high margin, but I think the Fall of Cybertron cassettes are way better than their trilogy counterparts, bar with the War for Cybertron trilogy Laserbeak. I could see that. The data discs look nice. I'm gonna have to put this one. I really like the look of Rewind, but in my mind, there's just not a lot going on with this pack, and I think I'm just gonna put it in between these two guys. I don't know if you guys are happy with this. Does the Ram Horn set need to go up into A? Do you think it's gotten the ability to move up from its brethren from the B tier? Blaster's cassettes are better than Soundwave in this. I would agree. Soundwave has just a few more regular cassettes. I think that's the whole deal. I think Ram Horn belongs up in A. I think he's just a little bit better. Yeah. Moving into the deluxes, this is vaguely in the order that they released in stores. The first is the Optimus Prime. Now, this is one of the few... Which one is most edible? All of them. This is one of the few figures that I actually have, which was the Optimus Prime. Again, we're not going to cover these repaints. This Optimus Prime figure, to me, is... Oh, man. This is such a hard one. Because I like the design of Prime. I had this figure, it was fun, but it's just so small. And I'm not asking that it scales. You know, at the time they weren't really doing scale like they're doing now. And this was right after the Dark of the Moon toy line released, which is where we saw toys become smaller, you know, physically smaller for around the same price. There were obviously, you know, kind of drawbacks at the time. But the figure is fun, but it does have some problems. I'm pretty sure his shoulders are ball joints, and they got really loose over time. Let's see what you guys are saying. Probably A. It looks rough. Yeah. Surprised they didn't make a Fall of Cybertron Squawk box. You're right, Hisomi. They should have. Why do the Japanese repaints always look better? That is true. Looks kind of small, but also kind of fun. It is fun, and it is simple, but it does the transformation perfectly well. Both modes look extremely accurate. I don't think you need to be much more complicated than this. But it is small. And I remember mine being extremely floppy out of the box. Maybe that was just my experience, though. He looks malnourished. War for Cybertron toy version of Optimus Prime was better. I agree. Okay, it looks like we're hovering around the A and B. For now, I'm gonna put Optimus in A tier, but I'm gonna put him below Ram Horn. We may change this later. We may push him down to a B. I'm kind of going back and forth because he was really fun. I remember him. You guys are saying B. I remember him being really fun. So new Diaclone. Oh man, new Diaclone video out right when we're streaming. Fun figure, but Magnus pulls it off better with a Buster Sword. Yeah, we'll get to him. Jazz. It is time for the Jazz figure. This one I did not have. But I have seen plenty of reviews, and I have lived vicariously. Again, the the repaints always look better, but we're just focusing on the main ones here. Oh man, this is definitely interesting. He's technically got 5 wheels because he's got these fake wheels in his feet. What do we think about Jazz? Because this is a really tough one for me to decide. I feel like the vehicle modes for this line are pretty much always on point. But the robot modes is where they suffer. See, look at this. Someone out here is saying, "Ugh, that Jazz," and then Ripped Cougar is saying Jazz is S tier. No discussion. How is that possible? The legs make me sad. I think it's not just the legs, it's the fact that the body itself is so large. That's my issue. I think if the body was smaller, was not so huge, the legs would not stand out as much. I think that's what the issue we're facing here is. I'm thinking he's going to have to go in B tier for now. I think he's a little bit better than some of these data disc guys. I think he's just going to sit in B tier for now. The alt mode carries him, yeah. And again, the alt mode for these always seem to hit almost perfectly, but the vehicle modes seem to be where things suffer. They could have had the wheels fold into his ankles. Also, to answer why Takara did all the color repaints around this time is due to the Japanese having much bigger adult collector culture than in the West. Okay, I didn't know that. I just remember being jealous of my brother for having this figure, so I guess that's why I like it. Slonk, you need to buy yourself a copy of it now. Okay, Shockwave. I had the Shockwave figure. And it's not even up for discussion. Shockwave is an S tier figure. 100%. His legs are skinny. You know, his legs should have more meat on the bone, but that's, again, because that these figures were just smaller at the time. This gun mode is dumb. It should be this full thing. But this guy is absolutely... Oh, okay, they have multiple photos. S tier. Why did they add these green boxes? Just to highlight? Interesting. S tier. Yep, everybody's agreeing. Everybody. Here's the thing. If they ever get around to doing a Studio Series War for Cybertron Shockwave, it's going to be really hard to beat this. The legs, yes, the legs are the biggest issue here, but it's really not that big of a deal. It's really not that big of a deal in my mind. This figure is just so much fun. His head being on the spring, I remember constantly pushing his head down and just having it pop up. Absolute S tier figure. He's fantastic. Peak Shockwave toy, I remember my friend had him and was super fun to play with. Yes, accurate. S tier. Immediately in the S tier rank. No question about it. That was the simple one. Just very fun. What did the Takara... Was there a Takara version? Prime. Oh, he was released in Arms Micron. Interesting. Very interesting. And they had an Arms Micron that could fold into that. And his wings were redone a little bit. Interesting. I did not realize that. I do think the guy who's a repaint of Shockwave might be better without character bias. We will get to him. Next is Onslaught. Oh, man. It's going to be really rough, guys. Onslaught is my favorite design of this entire continuity. I just love how beefy he is. I love in War for Cybertron when he transforms, he literally just stomps his feet on the floor like he's angry. I absolutely love both his modes. But the Onslaught figure, and again, we're doing this. We're not doing the Generations multi-plaque. This guy, who's really actually a lot more colorful. Down here you can see he's really bright. Man, it pains me to look at this because it looks like he took too much Ozempic, honestly. Really, it's a shame. It's an alright figure, but the tolerances, dude, oh man. Yeah, I even mentioned this in one of my videos recently, how disappointed I was like this. He's got to go and see, at least. And it pains me, again, because I like Onslaught, but this just ain't it. This ain't it. Not the Bruticus. I'm sorry, Seraph. We have to do Bruticus. It's part of the line. Goofy head. Yeah. I have Brawl up next. Let's switch over to Brawl here. Technically, he's... I don't mind the colors of Brawl. Again, these are much more colorful. Something that's going to come up on all of them is that they're small, that their size is kind of out of wonk. I actually really like the look of this figure. I never owned any of the Combaticons, but I like how this Brawl looks. And so I'm thinking that he can go in B tier. Higher echelons of B tier. Unless you guys have had him and you think otherwise. Why haven't you all Transformer YouTubers made a Cybertron multiplayer map tier list? But you're doing this instead. That's a good question. You should ask the Cybertron the people here on YouTube who do more Fall of Cybertron stuff. Brawl is ass from memory. Oh no. No reason for him to be smaller than Swindle. Oof. B. We're all saying B. All right. I can agree. I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna place him. Is he better or worse than Jazz? Why are the Combaticons in such silly colors? These were the full releases of them in single packages. If you got the BotCon exclusive multi-pack, they were inaccurate colors, but we're not going to do that just because that was a really expensive pack at the time. I got all 5. Vortex and Blastoff were the best. Spoilers. And we'll get to them. They're coming up next. Pretty sure there was an upgrade kit years ago that made the Combaticon figures infinitely better. Yep. Same as Jazz. All right, he's going to sit next to Jazz. Blastoff is next. Oh, people are saying better. We'll put him better. Blastoff is next. So yeah, here's the thing. Here, the Decepticon Bruticus multi-pack. Here's Blastoff. Color accurate to the game. And then this is what you got in the single release. Why is he this color? I don't know. I have no idea. Hey, Delta Press F11, not a chance. I see you brushed. Look at this guy's shoulders. I don't even... What was this like? What was going on here? What were they doing? How many shoulders does he have? 1, 2, 3? Man. 3 shoulders. Bit of a mix on that Blastoff. On one hand, I like the gamer accurate colors, but on the other, I like the color scheme. Single pack toy with him with that yellow lightning. Yep. Sometimes I say G2 colors are better than G1 on the Combaticons. He looks so strange compared to the game. Yeah. His legs, too. Again, this is, something that's common. The legs are always so skinny. Once again, vehicle mode, I think, works perfectly fine. But it's the robot mode that suffers. Skinny. Lets the shoulders go back. Oh, okay, I see. It lets them pull back. What are we thinking for Blastoff? Where does Blastoff belong? Does he belong in C with Bruticus, or does he go up in B? Why would they make the retail releases the wrong colors while the exclusive the game accurate colors? That's just the way it goes. He doesn't have head articulation. But he doesn't have head articulation? But his head's turned here. There's no way his head's turned. Well, maybe it's not. C tier? People are saying C tier. B tier. Oh, B. I'm going to put him C tier, but I'm going to put him above Onslaught. Vortex is next. Vortex. Now, here's the thing. Here's what Vortex looks like in the game. Great design. I absolutely love this concept art where his head is tiny. It's not that inaccurate here. I mean, if you look at the Bruticus multipack, there's way too much red. Or at least the red is way too garish. The red and the purple here really don't bug me at all. Head has a swivel. Oh, okay, all right. So Blastoff had a swivel head. What are we thinking of Vortex here? I don't mind it just from looking at his shoulder or his elbows look a little weird. But this doesn't look like a horrible figure. Where does this gun come from, though? Is that just... Oh, I see it. I think it's right there in his legs. So it's just a part of it. And then he has these swords on the side. Again, I never had these guys, so... Brushed said, I own this one. Brushed, you got to tell us where Vortex belongs on the list. People are saying B. The elbows are too high. H tier. Who made his arms like that? B. Everybody's going B. I want to hear what Brushed says since he owns it. Brushed is B tier. Acceptable. Is he above Brawl in B tier? Anyone know the articulation? His level was one of the most fun in the whole game. His was. What do they do to my favorite Combaticon members? He's pretty good. Unlike Blastoff, I'm not a fan of the color scheme they have for single pack Vortex. Not a fan of his game accurate colored toy either. I think the G2 colored toy was the best. Do they have a photo of the G2? I was gonna say this does not look good. This looks horrible. But this, the Takara Tomy version looks a whole lot better. But again, we're not judging the toys based off of the Takara Tomy versions. It does not look like they have the G2 versions here. Alt mode carries. Yep. Swindle. Oh my god. Swindle's the last one. Alright. Swindle in the game. What a cool dude. Finger guns. Selling stuff. You gotta love Swindle. Oh boy. Oh, and it's a big picture too. Oh man. Brushed, we did get Vortex in B tier, but now we're looking at Swindle. No Takara? Yes, sir off. We're just judging these based off of the Hasbro. Maybe we can look at Takara after. Maybe we can rate the Takara versions right after this. We'll see. We have time. My friend found him too at the thrift store with all his accessories too. Nice. This is my favorite Combaticon. I love the pink silky colors. I don't know why there's a pink version. It just came out. Seriously, it gives him a Go Girl vibes. C and D for Swindle. Really? Generation Swindle is the only character who looks color accurate between all his toys. Shoulders are way too low. This shoulder over here looks way too low, but this one looks like it's more in line. Are these fake wheels? No, I think they're real wheels. Yeah, because there's his arms. His shoulders are way too low. This just makes it worse up close. F. I don't think he's an F. Oh, man, look at his wrist. What's going on with his wrist over here? Ugh. His torso looks like it should compress, but it doesn't. Yeah, I think there's a better photo, yeah, of this version where his torso is just so high up. Yeah, solicitation photos make him look a little better, but what are we thinking on this guy? Should he be down in C with Onslaught? Are we sure this isn't mistransformed? Let's look it up. That looks like how it is. Looks like through all of these. Here's the Cybertron gallery of him. He's actually like that. Yeah, people are confirming that is in fact the way he looks. There's the G2 Swindle. Oh man. Whoo boy. Lowest on C. I think that's fair. He's below Onslaught. Poor guy. He just didn't make it. Low C. The Combaticons have been completed. And now we're going to go to Sideswipe. All right, Sideswipe, who is a slight well, not slight. He's a retool and a recolor of Jazz. This one's really rough for me too. I feel like he's, again, the vehicle mode I think is perfect. But the robot mode I think is worse than Jazz's. Never had this figure. The colors pop a lot more than Jazz. The red helps, but yeah, not good. I would agree. Same as Jazz and B. He's really rough. What gun is this supposed to be, by the way? I know not all of the guns are game accurate, but does anybody know? I wonder if TFWiki even says. Is he spinning? His massive battle cannon is modeled after the Path Blaster. Oh, okay. It's supposed to be the Path Blaster. So, okay, I see. The spinning barrel here is down at the bottom of the Path Blaster, and they put it on the side. Interesting. Big ass chest. Sideswipe is holding the Path Blaster, aka Optimus's main gun. Yeah, they just have this. If you could remove this drum, that would be nice, because then it would make me realize that this is the Path Blaster more. It also looks like there's a little seat on the back. Yo, Johnny Flash. Johnny Flash, I just sent you an email, actually, trying to reach out and connect, doing a Transformers original story, and was wondering if you could help me out in a way. You play the games, Johnny. I own Fall of Cybertron on the PlayStation 4 version on my PS5. I don't currently have a PC that can run the games. It is in my plans to get a PC at some point soon. That way I can play them, because I really do miss it, and I love the modding community I've been following for a long time. It's just, it's not in the cards right now when I have a mortgage to pay. I will always have a mortgage to pay, but right now, the PC is not the top priority, but yes. But yeah, Johnny, I sent you an email. If you can, I'm going to bug you about it on stream. Delta stream and nobody told me? Sorry, Sheer. That's the thing, Sheer Ant Attack. I posted about this stream maybe about 4 or 5 hours ago, and some people were saying that they didn't see the notification. So, I apologize. Johnny Flash is here. Love your work, Johnny. Congratulations, by the way, on the over 16K for the Nemesis Prime versus Megatron movie. Very excited to see what comes out of it. It's looking fantastic. Absolutely amazing. If they made Gamer Edition drag strip, would you want the War for Cybertron DS design or the Fall of Cybertron? I don't see any email. Well, John, here. How can I do this? How can I do this without doxing myself, guys? Johnny, I'll get with you after the stream. My wife is here in the background saying, don't dox us. Johnny, I'll reach out to you after the stream. I'll find a way. Spidey, drag strip. Would you want the DS or the Fall of Cybertron? I wasn't aware that there were two different versions. Not spelling. Can't spell anything right today. Drag strip. War for Cybertron. Oh, that's right. Yeah, so this is the DS version. And then this is the Fall of Cybertron version. That's kind of a hard choice. I'll take both. How was your banishment to the couch, Delta? It was alright. We have a nice Delta couch that I was able to sleep on. Hey, we got to rate this guy, though. What are we thinking for Sideswipe? What is he? What is Sideswipe? What tier is Sideswipe going into? Are we putting him above Jazz in B? Is he a little bit better than Jazz just because of his color scheme? My friends agreed on Reddit post that Night version Optimus is better than most designs in the movies. Uh-oh. Where's this Sideswipe going to go? B? Same as Jazz? Okay, we'll put him right next to Jazz. Everybody's saying B tier. I think that's fair. Ultra Magnus. Ultra Magnus. Now, I never had this figure. I never have seen this figure in person. But Delta slept with his Transformers figures on the couch with a tub of ice cream. Slonk. You're not far off from what happened last night. I never got this Ultra Magnus figure, but I recall hearing that it had some tolerance issues. A or S maybe. Slonk speaks the truth. S tier. You guys are going full on S tier with this. Is it because of the sword? The sword is a cool idea that you can combine it with the gun. It is a really cool idea. A or S tier. Maybe an A. Ultra Magnus was in the Cybertron games. Sir Off, he's sort of kind of, he's in the DS one. And he was a DLC character. Here he is in the DS game. And then they had him as a DLC character in Fall of Cybertron. Solid A. Everybody's saying he's an A. Where did I put Optimus? I put Optimus. He's better than Optimus, you guys are saying? So he would probably need to be at the top of A. How much? Generations, Fall of Cybertron, Ultra Magnus. Is anyone selling him? $40. $40, $52, so it looks like he's around the $60 to $50 range. Interesting. I'm not getting him. Don't worry. Just wanted to see. Let's see what he was. Who do I have next? I have Starscream next. Starscream time. Guys, I'm gonna say Starscream is an S. I had this figure. It's not just nostalgia, because again, I had the Optimus and he did not make it an S. But I think this Starscream figure is an S. I think he is. I'm gonna put him above Shockwave. But let me know if you guys think I'm crazy here on this. S tier, yes. It's basically another Optimus with another face. The colors are too cool and accurate. I think he's A to S. The old Seeker mold was top tier for me. S. Absolutely. Spidey. S tier at the top. Easy. Air Raid. Let's get a photo of Air Raid. I did not have Air Raid. Whoa, his Takara version is way different. I did not have Air Raid, but I love this mold. So, are we rating the other Seekers? Kai, they're not in this list because I don't think they had Hasbro releases. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I think they were only Takara releases. I may be, if I'm wrong, then let's get them in here too. I'll go find photos of them. What are we thinking on Air Raid? I didn't have this guy, but I love the mold. Is he S tier as well? A tier. He's OP. Doesn't make sense as Air Raid. I mean, I agree. I agree, but he still looks like a really awesome figure. S tier. Is he better than... You guys are probably saying he's better than Shockwave is my guess. Thundercracker and Skywarp have Hasbro releases. Otherwise, I wouldn't have Thunder. Oh. Let's get them in here then. Here, we'll get Thundercracker and Skywarp in after we finish up this line here. You guys are saying S and A. I'm going to put him at the bottom of S, not because I think he's lesser than Shockwave, but it seems like a lot of people have issues that he's called Air Raid. I think Air Raid is lower than Shockwave. Yeah. Kickback. This is the one I have absolutely no memory of existing. When I was getting these photos together, I thought they made a Kickback. And from this photo kind of has a lot going on. Can we get the original solicitation? I have no knowledge of this figure in my mind. Now, that being said, he does come with my favorite weapon that they had in the game, which is the Gear Shredder. And I do think you can take these side pieces off. Yeah, right here you can see they're used as wings. Oh, right here, they have them off. You can use them as blades. So because he has the Gear Shredder, he's already gonna be going up there. This is what's really sad for me, is this figure looks like a figure almost that we would get today. This looks like a genuinely good figure as compared to the others. And the fact that this is one of the last original molds we got is really disappointing. Kickback is a small king. S tier. High A. I would agree. It's hard for me because I have no memory of him. Stuff be popping off, mainly the shoulder armor. Oh. Maybe S even. How about we put him at the top of A? We good with him at the top of A? If they made Fall of Cybertron Optimus and Nemesis Prime colors, he would be S tier. I would agree. We're going to keep him at top of A for now. He does look a little fiddly, but he is an Insecticon, so. Yeah. I love the head for kickback. It's very similar to the Viacon one, but it's more savage. You're right, it is. It's got the ears, too. Air raid is supposed to be Fireflight. Not sure why the name change. Could be because of copyright, but its DS version is better in my opinion. The color schemes for both versions of the toys. Oh, I did not realize that. Let's go back real quick and look at Air Raid. Yeah, right here it even says that. Fireflight is sometimes known as Air Raid. It's unclear how his fellow aerial bot Air Raid feels about this. Yeah, the actual Air Raid. Yeah. Interesting. I swapped the head onto my Viacon at times. Oh, nice. Okay, let's try and do these guys real quick, because we've already kind of listed these tiers out. So let's try and get these through as quickly as possible. Impactor. I think he's better than Onslaught because it's not such a bastardization of Onslaught's design. What are we thinking for Impactor? And they come with new guns. I think these are new guns. These might be Dark of the Moon guns. I don't remember. But Impactor, what are we thinking? I think he's better than Onslaught. My mind is like low B tier. I gotta wait for chat to catch up. There's a bit of delay. Easy C or D? Whoa, okay. We're thinking like the top of C. I'm guessing, I have to keep in mind, he's probably still not the greatest figure. B or low A. Interesting. His shoulders are so far down. He's got no shoulders. He looks very odd. I'm going to leave him at top C for now. Roadbuster is the next one. I love the fact that they continue to give us the weapons. I don't know why they put this weapon on top of that one. I think Roadbuster looks a lot better than Swindle does, especially because of the head. I think the Wreckers look better because they don't crap on their game counterparts. They don't have game counter. Yes, exactly. The stream made me realize this line had no budget. Yeah. They got him working with a shoestring budget. Yeah. What are we thinking about Roadbuster? I kind of like him a little bit better. D? Whoa. He's got to be higher than Swindle. I think he looks better than Swindle. I honestly think that he can go in C. Oh, some people are saying B. I'm going to put him at bottom B. He's a bottom for sure. He just looks like he pulls it off a lot better. Low B. Yeah. Who do I have next on here? Twin. I'm pretty sure this is Twin Twist. Oh, nope, it's not Twin Twist. I got it wrong. It's Topspin. Again, I honestly think that this works a lot better as an original character. And is this a MechTech weapon? Is this a MechTech weapon they gave him? Because this seems like Dark of the Moon MechTech stuff. Let's see here. Topspin comes with 2 guns. I don't see anything about this being a MechTech weapon. He's a bottom for sure. He pulls it off better in Delta 2025. Yeah, that's what I said. I just don't like the color, but that could just be me. These definitely look way better than the you guys are quoting me saying he's bottom. Similar to Ratchet's MechTech. I had Ratchet's Dark of the Moon MechTech weapon. I loved it. What are we thinking for this guy? I'm thinking Whoa, A. I'm thinking B. Top spin looks good. I'm thinking a higher B tier. I'm thinking better. I think better than Vortex and Brawl. I think that's fair. B tier. Yeah, A to B. Yeah. High or low A, yeah. The fact that the records actually appeared in the movies blows my mind. Their movie designs looked amazing, in my opinion. Yes, yeah. The colors, I think, work a lot better here. Who do I have next? Okay. Next, I have Whirl. Oh, boy. So this is not the Whirl that we probably really wanted. But I do like the fact that they gave him his correct head. The Allspark Blue kind of throws me, but it also kind of gives me nostalgia. I think this color scheme, again, I just think it works a little bit better. It's a little garish, but I don't know. Whirl's given me because it's Whirl, it's making me think an A. What do you guys think here on Whirl? I'm going to take a swig here of water. C tier. Oh, no. C to B. I think B tier would be allowable for this. It's like Whirl and Evac at once. I don't like the color palette for Whirl. I think he can go below Roadbuster. He is a bit garish. If they tone down the colors a little bit, I think that would have been all right. Okay, now we can do Twin Twist. I like the look of Twin Twist, especially with his gun. Especially also with this render that they did of him. He just looks like a fun character. I think Twin Twist is leagues better than Brawl. While it sucks we never got more toys of the other War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron characters, it was probably for the better because of they bastardized the way they made the characters look, yeah. Twin Twist in A, most people are saying. I think this guy looks like a fun toy, especially in his colors. Solid A. Yeah, everybody's going A. Looks a little too washed out. Yeah, I would rather have it be a little washed out, though, than Whirl be so garish. I'm going to put him below Optimus, just because Optimus is a little more recognizable. But I think he's a solid A figure. Now we're getting to the Voyagers. Coming to the end here. Oh, man, Grimlock was Wave 2 Voyager. Okay. Okay. So then we have Soundwave first, technically. All right. Voyager Soundwave. I had this figure. Guys, this is an S for me. And again, yes, it's because I owned him. But this figure was just so much fun. He has gorilla arms. Yes, but he has wrist swivels, so you can kind of work on it. You can still have him be able to bend his arms correctly. But for me, this is an S tier figure. People are saying S. AS, not top. Yeah, I don't think he's at the top of S. But I definitely think he's a little bit above Shockwave. I love the laser beak. I love, the pop-out gimmick that they had. The fact that you could fit multiple of them into his chest. It is an S tier. I'm not complaining. I love this man. It seems. Remember making my Autobot Dead End in Fall of Cybertron be mainly blue with secondary orange and blended nice with the red lights, but it looked better with the cliff jumper head. That is nice. Can you please explain the classes for the figures? Never understood them. Sure. They're just the different price points. Deluxe is kind of the standard. That's the $24 one right now. And then the Voyager is kind of the step up from that. You have, back in the day, you had Legends, Deluxe, Voyager, Leader. Now it's Deluxe, Voyager, Leader, Commander, basically. Yeah, Soundwave looking pretty good for a figure who also has to have the eject gimmick, yeah. Normal Soundwave and Blaster below, Shockwave, Sound Blaster above. Right. So the next figure that technically was out in this wave was Sound Blaster. And we're going to rate him as a separate character. I did not have this one. I wanted it. What are we thinking? I think he's below Soundwave. I think he's still S, but he's below Soundwave. Whoa, fix that. I love the red on him. I kind of wish he had the red visor. I guess I see why they didn't do it. Maybe. Does Sound Blaster normally have a yellow visor? I forget. But I feel like the red would have worked better because he's got the red highlights in the wheels everywhere. Well, I guess he's got the yellow on his arms. Back when it was 13 for the Deluxe and 20 for the Voyager. Yeah, I remember that too. Everything's more expensive. We actually talk about that in the Diaclona Delta Base episode coming out soon. About toys becoming more and more expensive. Do you think you'll ever do a video talking about the movies? Possibly. It's possible. Below S. I absolutely love Sound Blaster, Ancient, and Cyberverse. Yeah, it was a neat idea. I agree with Kai. Normal Soundwave and Blaster below. Oh, below Shockwave. Sound Blaster above. I actually don't agree with you. Never mind. Now we can do Grimlock. I also, triple S tier. Wow. I also had this Grimlock figure. This one is going to be a really tough one for me to rate. There's a lot of repaints of this. So, do they have the original? Yeah, they do have the original. Oh, it's so small, though. Okay. I had this figure, and I loved him. I got so much use out of this guy. But he does have issues. Everybody's saying bow to the king. Oh, man. He's got some issues. But I do agree that he is an S tier. The sword and the shield are way too small. But he is an S tier. Now, where does he go in the S tier, though? What are your thoughts on Grimlock and Swoop's design in the DS game? I actually really liked it. I like their blocky designs. Actually make his own S tier above it and name it Grimlock. His legs are annoying, yes. 6-shot nose. Guys, is he at the top of S tier? Is that what you're wanting? Are you wanting him at the top of S tier? Or is Starscream still a better figure than him? Grimlock, chest too wide, legs too skinny. Yeah. Sword and shield are too small. Is he better than Starscream? That's the main question here. Is he above or below Starscream? Everyone's saying King Grimlock. Which I think means he's going to stay at the top. Me no bozo. Grimlock is king. King S. I think that means they want him at the top. Same as Starscream, they even out. We'll keep him up there at the top as well. Last but not least is Autobot Blaster, a figure that I had forgotten existed. Now look, I love this mold. I love Blaster. I have Studio Series 86 Blaster. Fantastic figure. I love Blaster. But there's something about this figure that's really bringing it down for me. And that's this little guy right here. What is this supposed to be? Is this supposed to be... You guys are saying S. Really? With this steel jaw? Come on, look at this thing. If this ends up being S, this has got to be at the bottom of S tier. You guys really saying S tier because he comes with a steel jaw. His chest does look really well done. I will put him in S tier, but I'm gonna put him at the bottom of S tier, mainly because of the steel jaw. I feel like that's only fair because Ravage was so low in B, and because we talked about Ravage being so bleh, that this is gonna have to pull him down. Excuse me, where's Bumblebee? Bumblebee did not have a Fall of Cybertron figure. Again, this is just the Fall of Cybertron line, because this is going to be for the Fall of Cybertron retrospective video, and so I really just want to keep it Fall of Cybertron figures tied. I never knew Delta had such strong feelings about Steeljaw. That's a great point, Slonk. I'm actually going to challenge you here. You think I have strong feelings against Steeljaw, but Studio Series Steeljaw, I think, is a perfectly fine figure. People hate on this guy. People are taking the time to make videos about how much they despise this guy. And I understand for the price point, he is a little expensive. I get that. But I love this guy. I still haven't found one, but I really want it. I really, 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 really want it. So, Mrs. Tryon in the chat. Oh my God. She figured out how to have a YouTube channel. Mrs. Tryon does have a YouTube channel anyway. Brush just figured out. So Slonk, that's to combat you thinking that I don't like Steeljaw. I actually really like the look of this guy. But again, the look of, let's see if I can find that actually. Generations, Fall of Cybertron, Steeljaw. Let's see if I can find other photos. No, it's mainly going to bring up $35. Hold on a second. This guy's only $35. $15? Hold on a second, guys. Wait a second. Wait, $14 shipping. That's not bad. Hold on a second. Oh, look at his head. Oh, I love that. Hey, he's got the smirk to it. SS Steeljaw's fine, but doesn't feel like enough for a core. Yeah, I understand. I understand that issue. I understand the price. Delta Wife is going to start uploading Bumblebee content. It's over for us, Delta. Relinquish your hold on the Delta Nation. That wife has made an account. Mrs. Tryon will hear about this. Mrs. Tryon betrayal once again. When is Mrs. Tryon not betraying me? Yeah, $15 with $14 shipping. How much is... Yeah, it looks like Soundwave. Oh, look, $17 free shipping, but he probably doesn't come with Steeljaw. Yeah. I was trying to find a photo of Steeljaw. Let's just do Fall of Cybertron Steeljaw. Oh, I need images, not... Oh, well, whatever. I still think he's bottom S tier. Should have Delta Wife play the barricade mission in Transformers the game 2007. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Then she'd really leave. Guys, I want you all to know that you are now a part of the upcoming Fall of Cybertron video. I originally was not going to talk about the toys, but you all convinced me last time. No D-tier toys. You know what? For the drama, we're going to put Onslaught in D. And again, that really hurts because I love Onslaught. I love him, and that really hurts me. It hurts my soul. But yes, this will be probably not the full stream. The full stream is obviously not going to be in the Fall Cybertron video because that video is already going to be like over an hour long. But I will talk about it. Let me know if you want this type of content more often. These types of more relaxed streams. I don't stream often, but this will be a part of that video when it comes out next month. I hate that my third world ass country on the other side of the world has like 20 extra bucks just for shipping Transformers because it's far from everything. Chat, am I cooked for thinking... We're not even going to read that one, Sheer. My friends think the Transformers IDW is weaker than Moon Knight in the comics. Please help me. That's a huge, huge gap to cover. You guys should join future streams and subscribe to the channel. Look at that. Slonk shilling out for me. Slonk, as always, shilling out for me. I need to throw OBS up here because I need the thank you channel members up. I'm going to put up the welcome menu here real quick while I check on something. The audio for the... Oh, no, the jazz is still going. Here we go. This is what I want to do. Guys, we're coming near to the end of the stream, but I want to thank you all by gifting some memberships out here. Gifting some memberships to the channel. Grab them, collect them. Collect them while you can. Look at that. There we go. 5 new members. 5 new members. Thank you guys for all the support. I have one final request for you guys. And it's not a huge request. I talked about this last time on stream yesterday. Let me make sure I mute this. Great friend of this channel, Wild Dream Stream, is trying to build their core audience out over on Twitch. Sundays, they do spooky games. I'm going to throw this in chat. If you guys can do me a huge favor, I would hugely appreciate it if you jump over to Twitch. I'm sending it over right now. And tell the streamer Daniel, his name is Daniel, just tell him that you love him. Say, Daniel, we love you. Tell him to keep it up. He's been trying to build this Twitch channel for a while now, and he's been keeping at it. He's desperately trying to get to 50 followers. That's when you get all the nice Twitch things. He's at 44. If you can just go over and give him some love and say, Daniel, we love you, something like that, keep it up, I would really appreciate it. You don't have to say it's from me, you know, whatever. But would absolutely... I pop up on this Twitch channel on Tuesdays. If you want to see some FPS or shooters, I am there on Tuesdays. You'll hear my real name. And every Thursday they do Phasmophobia. And I also sometimes join them in on there for some spooky stuff. That is how I spend my Sunday nights every night, is I watch some spooky streams by Daniel over on the Wild Dream stream. So yeah, if you guys can... run over, giving him a follow would be great, but again, just letting Daniel know that he's an S tier. He's an S tier Transformers figure. He's as good, if not better, than King Grimlock. I would highly appreciate it. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna let this keep running just for a minute, and I'm gonna repost that link there. Thanks, guys, for stopping by as always.